All right, guys, I have a little bit of free time before I have to leave for the night, so I thought I would take a look at DSP's review of Mario Kart World. Now, I've kind of talked about this a little bit on stream. Phil is a complete and total pleb. He doesn't know anything about video games. He doesn't like them. He only plays them for money. So something like Mario Kart World comes out, is a great game. Everyone loves it. Everyone's playing it. It's the best Mario Kart ever, right? Bar none. Yeah, it's significantly better than 8. DSP is going to come out and attack it because that's what he does in Nintendo games, right? He knows that like the game isn't going to pull in revenue, so he's doing some last-ditch Hail Mary, like attacking Nintendo, trying to get some support from his community, essentially. So let's take a look at what this man-child has to say about Mario Kart World Deluxe. Mario Kart World.
Nostalgia bait? Yeah, for sure. Absolute nostalgia bait if you're a fan of previous Mario Kart games or just Nintendo.
Wow. So if you like Mario Kart or Nintendo, you're gonna like Mario Kart World. What an astute observation. You know, how many years did you spend in a grad program to figure that out, Phil? You know, what did you get your degree in to come to that scientific conclusion? You know, how many research hours did you put into in the lab to come up with that take? Like, oh, if you're a fan of old Mario Karts, you're gonna like World. And by the way, gotta love like the tacit admission here that like he's not a fan of Mario Kart, he's not a fan of World, right? Because if he was, he would like enjoy, you know, all the homages, you know, all the great music, all the, you know, the long history of Mario Kart. You know, like I just realized this before I went live, but like I've never seen Phil like talk about or play Mario Kart ever. And you're supposed to take this guy seriously when it comes to like Mario Kart or Nintendo coverage.
No, as a you know, creative company and all their IPs and everything. But outside of the graphics and the nostalgia bait, Mario Kart World literally has absolutely nothing of substance.
Objectively wrong. Okay, nothing of substance? Are you joking? Like, the racing is top notch, the tracks are great. There's not a single bad track in the entire game. I just beat like the last knockout tour circuit this morning around 10 a.m. and then I went online and I was just shocked at how chaotic it was and how much of an improvement it was over 8's like battle mode and like their online racing mode. Like, nothing of substance? Are you kidding? And keep in mind, you know, the base game is great. It's becoming more common for games to have free updates. So that's something I've been talking about a lot, is that like you are delusional if you think this game isn't going to get free updates. So DSP is sitting there like complaining about like, oh, there's nothing of substance in this game, and like meanwhile in the real world, you know, I know people who've already put like 20 hours into it. I'm not sure how much time I've put into in it, but like it's my most played Switch game by far. You know, I like this more than Street Fighter 6. I like this more than like Cyberpunk 2077. You know, like this is like the big like day one Switch 2 game, right? So Phil sitting here and complaining about the game like having nothing of substance, it's just a complete and total farce. You know, like what is he talking about?
And you might say, I don't get it, but it's a new Mario Kart, and we haven't had a new Mario Kart in over a decade. You're right. And Mario Kart World did absolutely nothing to innovate or add anything new whatsoever to the franchise.
Okay. So like the change in how the Grand Prix works, the knockout tour, the improved online mode, the incredibly complex new mechanics, which I'm sure Phil hasn't even like scratched the surface of. I personally haven't like really scratched the surface of. Like, saying World hasn't innovated over 8 is just straight up delusional, right? Like, even surface level, you can tell that like, well, like all the tracks interconnect and like what they're doing with that. You know, it's a little bit different from other Mario Karts, but like mechanically, it's so much more involved. Like, there's so much going on, like on these tracks, and there's so much variety, and like the transition between stages is just seamless and like so much fun and amazing. Like, no innovation. Like, what is he talking about? You know, that's just straight up wrong. And this is this is my like opinion on his Nintendo coverage in general, is that like he doesn't know anything about the company, and he isn't qualified to make these kind of statements, because like when was the last time he played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? You know, like even a child will be able to tell that, like, you know, there's a pretty serious difference between these two games, right? Like he's acting like it's Call of Duty or something. No, like it's Mario Kart. Like they innovated and like delivered something like fresh, new, and exciting, and Phil just can't bring himself to admit it.
It's exactly the same.
No,
I
it isn't.
mean that. It literally is the same as previous Mario Karts. There's no new added spin, no new way to play. It's the same exact game. Okay? Thank you, Dimitri.
So he's complaining about like a Mario Kart game being a Mario Kart game. He's acting like he's upset at it not being a new IP. Like, what does he mean? Like, oh, it doesn't. It's the exact same game. You race in it. Like, yeah, that's what you do in Mario Kart. It's like, what was he expecting? You know, it's just.
Thank you for putting us on the front page of Kick. I appreciate that. Now's a good time actually for that, as I begin to talk about Switch 2 and Mario Kart 1.
Oh.
Thank you, Dimitri. Okay, so FYI, Mario Kart Worlds only has exactly the same amount of tracks as every previous Mario Kart and nothing more. It's
yeah, like most of them, Phil. Like 8 is kind of an anomaly because of like all the DLC it got over the years. It only had like 32 tracks to start with. This idea that like, oh, it only has like 32 tracks, like, yeah, 32 brand new tracks, no retro courses, you know, tied together into an open world. Like, it's significantly more content than what we've been giving in the past, right? The amount of tracks are the same, but like the way they're utilized is completely different. You know, you have the Grand Prix, you have the Knockout Tour, you have like you know, online mode where you do like actual laps around like the tracks, like, you know, like this idea that like, oh man, it's the same amount of content. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like he just simply doesn't know.
8 circuits of 4 tracks, so 32 tracks. That's it. They didn't add anything new. They didn't say, hey, because we're charging you $80 this time, we're going to add more content. Absolutely not. It's
what? so that's gonna age poorly when they inevitably do add more content. What a loser.
Exactly the same amount of content again. Okay? There's no actual new controls or anything to it. It's exactly the same.
Nope, not true.
It still implements all the things from previous Mario Kart. So for example, when you're doing an aerial trick, you can either press the trigger or you can wiggle your switch to do it however you want to do it. But there's nothing in there at all that's innovative or new or different. When you go to the open world, which is supposed to be their selling point, right?
Nope. Selling point, no. Like, all the critics do this. Like, oh, like, the open world, there's nothing to do with it. Like, it's a side mode. You know, everything is connected in the open world, but, like, free roam is not meant to be the primary draw of the game. You know, like, people keep acting like this is supposed to be Grand Theft Auto or something. No, like, you can drive around in the open world. You can hang out and chill with the environment and explore and stuff like that. And it is a lot of fun, but it is not the primary draw. Right? Like, this is the thing that, like, all these critics don't seem to understand, is that, like, the open world thing is a side feature. And, like, Phil really needs to, like, wrap his mind around that. Like, again, I don't think I've ever seen any developer do this. Like, you know, have, like, the open world be, like, a side feature and not, like, the main thing. But, like, it's a really interesting to see people's reaction to this, because, like, this has been a major point of contention for most people. And it's just so self-evident to me that, like, well, the open world isn't the main draw. So, like, whatever you think about it, it doesn't really matter. But
open world in Mario Kart now, wow, that's amazing. It's completely devoid of any kind of energy.
Nope, wrong.
You think as soon as you join the open world, it would be like, welcome to the open world of Mario Kart. Here, you can complete challenges, which will earn you unlocks.
You can, yeah, you can.
You know, get this and unlock a secret area and do this. Nope. They just throw you into the open world and say, well, just mess around. What do you mean? What am I doing? What's the goal? What?
Like, again, I've been saying this a lot. Like, people like this, like, clearly don't have any any history of playing Mario Kart? Because like I remember, playing Mario Kart 64 and like after doing everything, just like kind of messing around on the tracks. Like a lot of people will tell you like how cool it was that you could like go to the castle in Super Mario 64, and drive around and like try and like explore that little part. Like that was a really nice like way to tie in like Mario Kart 64 with Super Mario 64, right? I have a lot of fond memories of that. Like Phil doesn't seem to have that kind of history with the games. He doesn't understand what the appeal of this is actually supposed to be. It's just it just eludes him.
Why am I here?
Why am I
Figure it
here?
out. Well, I bought your game. You tell me what I'm doing. No, you figure it out. Oh, okay. So as you start to explore the open world, you actually realize there's nothing in it. It's just a
Wrong.
bunch of pointless challenges
Nope.
where you do, grind on this rail and collect coins. Okay, complete the challenge. What did I get that for? Nothing.
Nope.
Oh, look, there's 5 hidden question mark things to drive over. What do you get when you find them all? I don't know. So why would I do it? If you can't spend 5 seconds to explain to me why I need to explore your open world, why would I care about it? Nintendo couldn't even.
Yeah. So he can't. He doesn't need to be. Wow. So he's gonna sit there and like complain, like, "Oh, you're supposed to play the game, Phil." Like, "Oh man, how do I have fun? I need a tutorial." Like, come on, Phil.
Bother to do that. Like, don't even tell me what's fun about this new feature. Thanks, Nintendo. So what ends up happening is it just becomes a hub. While you're doing the online play, the open world is a hub that you just endlessly drive around while it's matchmaking you for
Yeah, and it's cool.
matches.
It's really cool.
And
Yep.
you'll occasionally find things, and maybe you'll do a thing here or there, but it's just not special. It's boring. It's literally incredibly boring. And that's their new thing that they added for Mario Kart World. When you talk about the online play, they've completely ruined the races. How? Because there's no more circuit or even set of races. It's just individual one-off races. So no race feels like it's actually important.
Wait. What? Did he just say that like circuit? So is he implying that like they removed Grand Prix from online? Like, huh? What's he talking about? So he's complaining about the fact that you do one race online, basically, and then like do another race on. What is he talking about? This is typical.
One-off races. So no race feels like it's actually important.
Actually important? What do you mean important? It's fun, Phil. Like, what do you mean important? Like, he makes it sound like Nintendo Nintendo needs to solve world peace or something. It's like, no, Phil, it's a game. It's supposed to be fun. Like,
online play of the game, which is hilarious. Every other game now that has competitive online play has some kind of a ranking system where you tier up, right? You can go to different levels. Oh, you're a rookie, then you're a master. Oh, you're gold or silver tier, or whatever it is. Not Mario Kart World. They couldn't be bothered with that. Instead, you get a number that you either.
Okay. It was the same in Mario Kart 8. I can't say the same for 7 or Wii because I never played them online, but like 8 has the same exact system. So the fact that he doesn't know this is proof positive that he doesn't know anything about the franchise, that he did not play Mario Kart 8 enough to know that he doesn't know anything about the series or like, how the ranking system works. Like, I think the ranking system is fine. I really enjoy it and think it's a lot of fun. Like, it keeps you coming back for more because you're always like improving your score. So Phil is just wow, he's just finding excuses to hate the game now.
Gain points or lose points depending on how you place in a race, and it's just a number that means absolutely nothing.
What do
you
you
get
mean?
nothing for it. You don't.
What do you mean? It indicates how much time you spent on the game, and it indicates like how good you are in general, right? It's an indication of how you're matched up against other players, which is all a ranking system is. Like, it doesn't mean anything. What are you talking about? It's a ranking system. That's all it is.
Really show up anywhere. No one's going to celebrate if you're the best Mario Kart player because you have a high number in single.
No. Nobody cared about your 4th place Evo win. Okay, like you have room. You have no room to talk about this. Nobody cares.
No one cares. So ultimately,
No
All
one
your
cares.
online play is for nothing.
What about your your WWE Legends like history? You know, you're like one of the best players in the world or something. Like that means so little to everyone that you actively try and hide the fact that it's you. Okay. Like that's kind of my thinking like in this. Like, what do you mean it means nothing? You know, like when you spend like thousands of dollars. Like I'm told, like what was it, like $20,000 a year on WWE Legends? I don't know the exact metrics, but like you spend thousands of dollars a year on WWE Legends, and you're gonna turn around and try to say that like Mario Kart's ranking system is pointless in comparison. That doesn't make any sense. Like, because you can't like pay to win like you do in that game. Like, it's just
Now, there are 3 online modes. Single race,
all of them are great.
literally you drive around in the open world waiting for it to matchmake, then you get in a race and you race, and then it's done, and you get points or lose points, and then you're back to the open world sitting around waiting again for the next race, and then
Like, what are you talking about? When you're in a room, like it doesn't take as long to get to the next race. So it's like maybe 30 seconds. You know, people come and go, but it's like this idea that like, oh, you're just driving around endlessly waiting for, like, that's not true. That's not true, Phil.
just endlessly does that. Like I said, there's no circuit, there's no overall winner, there's no pedestal, no one's awarded a trophy, nothing.
What is he talking about? Nobody's awarded a trophy. So he's acting like he's acting like he thinks it should be like the Grand Prix, but it's just not. Like, who cares, Phil?
You just do it for literally no reason. Like, there's no point to it. It's stupid. The way that they've designed it is flawed. Okay. Then you've got battle mode, and battle mode also is awful. Battle mode is a throwback to SNES Mario Kart.
What? Throwback? Is he making it sound as if like battle mode hasn't been like in Mario Kart since the Super Nintendo version? I don't know if it's like appeared in every iteration. I'm pretty sure it's like a standard though. You know, I know it was an 8. I know it was in 64. But yeah, it's generally like a standard feature in these games, Phil. Like it's pretty well known. Like he's acting like, oh man, battle mode. They brought it back from the Super Nintendo version, but no, it never went anywhere, Phil.
You're in a very small arena. My hair's all screwed up today. You're in a very small arena.
You're
In
not
that
that
arena with all these other players, you have balloons and you have items. And all you do is you drive in a circle, grabbing items and hitting other players with them until their balloons are gone. Done. Now, this was cool.
What are you talking about? Like, it takes a lot of skill to win at battle mode, okay? Like, I did it and I got positively wrecked because I don't have a history of playing battle mode. I never really got into it. Didn't have anyone to play with growing up. But, like, you know, like, I understand the appeal, okay? Like, what do you mean, like, that's it? You know, like, what more do you want? Like, do you want them to get out of the carts and start beating the shit out of each other? Like, it's like, what more do you want, really?
During the era of SNES, because it meant multiplayer on your SNES, and it gave another spin to the game. Today, Mario Kart's about racing. The battle mode is boring as hell. Like, I played it a couple matches. I was so bored to tears, I never booted it again. The one hidden gem in Mario Kart World is Knockout Tour mode, which actually is the one new thing that's in the game. So what is Knockout Tour? It is an elimination-style race of 24 players. At first, there's all 24 racing through a map to a goal. When the first 20 qualify...
So he says that, like, there's nothing new, and then he starts, like, praising Knockout Tour. So, like, okay, that's one thing, Phil. Okay, that's an entire, that's an entire mode that you enjoy. So, like, that's never been in any Mario Kart game before. It's a completely new thing that takes advantage of the world. Like, the fact that you like Knockout Tour debunks everything you've been saying up to this point. You know, the idea that the open world doesn't do anything, the idea that, like, there's nothing of substance in the game, that there's nothing new to it. Like, this admission is like Phil kneeling to Harman Smith and just acknowledging that this video is completely 100% correct. That DarkSydePhil doesn't know what he's talking about. He can't even, like, refrain from contradicting himself in this, like, one uncut clip. You know, within 5 minutes, he dismantles his entire argument. Like, I didn't have to do a single thing. You know, I could have spent, like, the past half hour, like, actually playing the game. And everyone would have like agreed with me anyway that like the game is good, you know? Like I didn't have to lift a finger, but because Phil is such a failure, he can't even argue his own points on his own podcast. You know, he debunked himself.
4 get knocked out. Now only 20 get to continue to drive. And the good thing about Mario Kart World is they made all the courses connect. So now you can keep driving and connect all these different courses together, keep eliminating 4 more at each checkpoint. And it's actually quite exciting. It's invigorating, and it's very, very fun. It took me a while, but I finally won one of these matches, and it was super cool.
Wait, one of them? Like, one of them. He's only won once. I mean, they're not hard. They're not easy, but like, wow.
Probably the only mode I would ever go back to in Mario Kart World, because listen to this. I beat the entirety of the game, all 32 courses, at the highest difficulty of 150cc in one sitting of 3 hours. I unlocked all of that in 3 hours. Done. Okay, let me go online.
These games aren't that long, Phil. This is pretty typical. Like Mario Kart 64 had like 16. You know, like it's like, okay, Phil. Like,
fine. Well, single race mode sucks. Battle mode sucks.
Nope.
Ooh, Knockout Tour is fun. So I ended up playing a couple hours of Knockout Tour. So overall, I made 8 videos. Like I said, around 9 hours of Mario Kart World. And there's literally no reason for me to ever boot it up on here ever again unless they add more content, or if I feel like I want to play the Knockout Tour mode for an hour or two for some fun online play. But outside of that, the game's done already.
Nope.
And that's the flagship launch title they put on Switch 2. They didn't give you a 20 to 30 hour Mario Odyssey. They didn't give you a...
They did, Phil. It's called DK Bonanza. It's coming out next month. Like, what is he talking about? Like, oh, that's it. Like, do you know how many games I bought day one on this thing? Like, Phil, like, it's just... What is he talking about? Like, there's nothing to play on it. That is, like, the biggest cope I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, there's nothing to play on Switch 2. Like, that just means you have it. Like, again, I was saying the same thing about Switch 1, you know? Like, Phil was saying this about Switch 1, you know? Like, oh, there's nothing to play on it. But, like, you know, didn't play Brothership, didn't play Princess Peach Showtime. Like, he didn't play, like, anything, you know? Like, there were so many games coming out in the past several years of Switch 1. Like, why would I ever take what this guy has to say about Switch 2 seriously?
40-hour Zelda. Hell, they didn't even give you a fun 10 to 15-hour Donkey Kong. They gave you a 3-hour...
A 10 to 15-hour Donkey Kong? They are, Phil. It's coming out next month. What is he talking about?
Fun 10 to 15-hour Donkey Kong. They gave you a 3-hour Mario Kart, and they sold it for $80.
A 3-hour Mario Kart. Okay, so you're gonna, like... do all the racing, you're gonna never play the game again, like, after 3 hours. That is completely insane. That is completely wrong. And even Phil knows it's true, because you just know he's gonna come back to it eventually. Like, what a dork.
Telling you that was the system seller for this $450 paperweight.
Paperweight?
This console is a joke. It does not innovate whatsoever.
You know what? I'm going to go to Seattle, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you, Phil. Like, I think you should have, like, 2 black eyes, like, completely broken teeth. Like, I think you should be in a wheelchair, you know, after that. Like, paperweight? Like, are you delusional? Like...
taking this controller off magnetically and using it as a mouse is not innovation.
No, yes it is! When have you ever seen anyone else do anything like that? Okay.
Mouse right now on your PC or console, that's not any added value. The fact that they've caught up with other consoles and now can do 4K is not innovative. It doesn't give added value. It's just playing catch up.
Are any of those consoles portable, Phil?
This thing is a ripoff. There is no reason to own it unless you absolutely need to play Mario Kart right now.
Okay, yeah. So everybody in the world needs to own it, Phil. You fucking cocksucker. You fucking horse cocksucker. Like, holy shit.
You will be done with it within a day like everyone else is. People are literally saying, what do I do with this now? What was the hype about?
Who's saying that? Like, who in the is saying that. Like, not actual fans. Like, nobody I know except, like, fat fucks like you who who don't respect Nintendo at all, like, who don't like their games, like, what are you gonna do with this? Play games on it? Yes! That's exactly what I'm gonna do! Like...
You have to understand something about Nintendo, because I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Nintendo doesn't improve because there is a fan base that buy Nintendo no matter what mistakes they make, no matter how underwhelming their stuff is.
What mistakes are they making? What is he talking about? Like, what is he talking about? What mistakes have they made? The Switch 2 is, like, I think day one, it's, like, become the best-selling, like, day one console ever, I believe. I think it sold, like, 3 million units or something. It's already outsold the lifetime sales of the Steam Deck, if that means anything to you. So, like, yeah, this thing was, like, wildly successful right out of the gate. And yet you still have these, like, 40-year-old boomers like this, like, sitting there and, like, complaining about it. It's like, you bought the console, Phil! Like, what is he talking about? He's complaining about Nintendo fans buying everything they put out when he bought the game, when he bought the console. He paid $530 plus, like, all that other stuff for the accessories for, like, something he called a paperweight. You know, like, it's not Nintendo's fault, Phil. It's you. You know, if you really genuinely didn't want the product, why did you buy it? You know, like, you're Mutahar. You know, you're like, it's just...
is the fan base still buys Nintendo. So Nintendo has absolutely no reason to ever improve. Why would you put something new, special, or innovative on the Switch 2 when people are going to buy it anyway? You know how hard it was to get this thing? It was hard as shit to buy this thing. Ridiculous. Waiting in queues, clicking, have to be there at a super special time when it drops to get it.
What?
And you get it. What do I have this for?
He's complaining about, like, placing an online order. Like, it wasn't that hard, Phil.
What am I doing? Why, it's buyer's remorse. What the hell did I waste all my time on to get this thing when there's nothing to do on it? It's a joke. And it's the same thing when people keep rewarding mediocrity will never improve. Nintendo will never put the extra effort in to make something special if you keep rewarding them with your money. Do you get it? I am a content creator. It was my job and responsibility to get this thing.
My responsibility? What? His responsibility to buy and play a video game. Like, oh man, some people, like, work jobs, some people go to war, some people, like, I don't know, have to raise kids in dire circumstances. DSP has to buy and play Nintendo consoles. Like, these consoles are so bad and so unplayable that it's, like, torturous for this, like, 4th place Evo winner to even, like, consider playing one. Like,
but everyone else who ran out and bought into the hype is now feeling it in their wallets. Damn, I just dropped all that money, and I got nothing to play on this thing. I don't want to play a game again. I already played on something else.
What? I
paid $80 to buy it. What a ripoff. Well, then why'd you buy the Switch? Why?
Because I'm not doing that, Phil! There are new games on the platform. You know, if you have played, like, the third-party ports, you don't have to buy them. Like, as it so happens, I didn't play Street Fighter 6 or Cyberpunk or Hitman, and I bought all 3, you know? So, like, yeah, like, this idea that, like, most people have already bought and played most of these day one Switch 2 games is a complete and total farce, because most people don't buy everything that comes out.
Get it. It doesn't seem to make sense. It's just really weird that people buy into this bizarre hype. And again, to reiterate my point, when you reward bad behavior, it never improves. So take a look at Nintendo's history. Every time that they actually do something wrong, they get bailed out anyway. No one liked the Wii U, so what did people do?
I liked it, Will.
They ran out and they bought 1 million amiibos. So Nintendo made an insane amount of money anyway, even though their console and games weren't selling.
The games on Wii U sold really well. The Wii U is, like, kind of a weird situation because, like, the console actually did do very, very well, but, like, the YouTube community has gaslit themselves into thinking it's a failure. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. Like, Mario Kart 8 and Breath of the Wild were both Wii U games, and, like, they've gone on to be, like, bestsellers, you know? Like, so, like, this is a really good example of how, like, doing this, being like an obese like man-child in Seattle, like complaining about Nintendo. Like this isn't convincing anyone. Like you're not convincing anyone to not buy Nintendo, to not buy Switch 2, to not buy Mario Kart World. Like this entire segment is just a complete and total failure.
So why should we change? I just don't get it. It's very bizarre. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Switch 2 is a huge disappointment. And now, much like every other Nintendo console up to this point, besides maybe the SNES, I have absolutely nothing to do with my Switch 2. Besides,
yeah. Oh, the console I grew up with. Like that's the last time Nintendo was good. It's like this is like peak boomer mentality. Like it's like just completely delusional. Like it's so off base. Like he says this every single time. Like, oh, the Super Nintendo was the last good one. Like, and it's just no, Phil. Like you're the problem. I hate people like this, by the way.
Once in a while, say, hey, let's do a night where we just do some Mario Kart Knockout Tour and just have some fun, see if I can win a match or two. That's it. There's nothing else to do with this thing. Now, in a month, there's the new Donkey Kong Bonanza. I am excited for that. That looks good. But this will now collect dust for a month. I have nothing to do with it.
What?
Sit around, pointless, complete waste of time and money. What's hilarious is everyone who ran out and bought carrying cases like me, okay, I'm guilty of this, and all these accessories, what do you need it for? There's one game.
What? Like one game? Like, do these people not realize that like new games are coming out all the time? Like, it's just we get new releases on the eShop every week. Like what is he talking about? One game?
Oh yeah. Anyway, so Switch 2 is already dead. It really is like legit. No lie. Everyone over the weekend was like, wow, that's really it? And then started talking about another game that they saw at State of Play or Summer Game Fest.
Things that didn't happen. Like, what's he talking about? Like, I hate this mentality of, like, online personalities. Like, oh, nobody's talking about it. Yeah, that's because we're playing the game, Phil. Like, it's like these trolls, they're in this like circle jerk of people who like hate Nintendo and they assume that like everyone's exactly like them, but like meanwhile in the real world, people are like playing this near constantly. It's like it's been a really successful launch, and I find it so bizarre how like so many people like this are like so in denial about it. It's been crazy seeing Mutahar, Sean Malmstrom, this guy, Destin, like Daily Destin, like I've seen a lot of people who have spent like the past like 4 or 5 days or so trying to gaslight you into thinking the Switch 2 is going to fail. And like even now that that's like obviously not the case, they're still fighting to convince you that like it's like this console is a complete failure, and that just obviously isn't true.
Showcase, this is completely already done. So, okay. All right, let's see here. Big Mac did a $2 super chat. He says, it was Wulong, then Wukong, and now Wu Chong. All Souls likes. That's right. Wulong, Wukong, Wu Chong, Wu Chang, Wu Shang, and now they have Wu Tang. There actually is a Wu Tang game. So now you're really confused. The Wu Tang game is not a Souls like, for the record. Okay. And Mozzie just did a $5 super chat. Says, you know what? I returned my Switch 2 to Target. The worker said many people are doing that as well. People probably realize it's pointless and not worth it at all.
What?
Now, here's the question. How did you return it? You opened your console. You played stuff on it. And they allowed you to return it? I wasn't aware.
I don't believe that at all. That's just like... That just seems like that just seems like my dad works at Nintendo tier. It's just... I don't believe those stories at all.
Let you do that. I think, video game content, they usually, once you've opened it and used it, they don't let you return it. Like a controller, they would, but a console, usually no. I'm shocked that they actually took it back and gave you your money back. Well, good for you if they did. Oh, you never opened it. You bought it and you didn't open it?
So, like, this fucker, like, didn't... So, wait, what? Huh? So he bought it, never opened it, and then returned it? Like, huh? Like, what sense does that make? Like, yeah, that is not, like... Okay.
Wow.
Even
Good
Phil
on you
thinks
if
that's
you were on the
retarded.
fence and you bought it and you realized you didn't want to keep it. That was actually a smart move. Pretty smart move.
What is he talking about?
Okay, welcome back to Kickapoo over on Kick. Says I was on a vacation. I'm back. Let's see here. Someone tipped $2. Says if the console is worthless, then smash it. No, I'm not. I'm not an idiot. Hey, look at me. Do I look that stupid? No. Like I said, in a month there'll be a new Donkey Kong game. Do I want to play Donkey Kong Bonanza? Yes, I do. Looks good. Looks like a good original outing that probably will be more content and better than Mario Kart World. I'm excited for that. Later down the line, there'll be a new Metroid Prime game. I'm sure there'll be a new Mario game. All this stuff will happen. Isn't there? There's new Pokemon this year. I will get use out of my Switch too, just not now. It's literally a $450 paperweight because Mario Kart World is basically a non-game. It's pretty sad how
What?
a non-game it is.
A non-game.
You would think, oh, this is their system seller day one release. It's going to be great and innovative and tons of content, and it's literally the opposite. It's devoid of content. It's the same 32 tracks that you expect from any Mario Kart game and nothing added. Again, shameless nostalgia bait. Has remixed music from all these Nintendo franchises, and it has, redone tracks from...
Wow, the really amazing, well-received soundtrack that everybody can't stop gushing over. Yeah, okay, yeah, way to expose yourself, Phil. Like, what is he talking about? Like, they've always reused, like, popular tracks. Like, it's like they use 1-2, like, all the time. Like, the Underground theme all the time. It's like, what is he talking about?
Previous games, and that's it. It's nostalgia bait 101. What's up, King Michael? Good to see you, man. Okay. So one other thing I want to do before we get to you guys suggesting things for me to react to, because I know you guys are probably going to react to a bunch, or want me to react to a bunch of stuff. Okay. Over the weekend, I took a look at what was available for driving wheels on PC.
Yeah, that was so fucking stupid. Like, what the hell? What the hell did he think? Wow. So that's really how he's gonna downplay Mario Kart. Like, oh, it's a non-game. Like, okay, but I've just spent my entire weekend playing that non-game, and I'm gonna play it next weekend too. Like, it's like gonna be, my go-to Switch 2 game for a long time. Like, I get, like, who is he trying to fool? Really? Like, who is he trying to fool? Like, this is insane. Definitely. People need to call him out on this. Like, it's just unacceptable how people like this have run their mouths this much.